Now you're going to demonstrate a spiderweb stitch for the center.
So we're going to use our tapestry needle, and you're going to put a knot in the end.
And this is the passing gold thread.
This is the passing gold thread. Now you have just around 12 inches in your kit, and this takes 4 inches. So you have plenty. You can even do one off to the side first if that makes you feel better. And you will have stitched all the silk. You always do the silk first, then the gold. So we're going to pretend this is all stitched, and this will be complete here. So there are many ways they did spiderweb stitch in period, and this is one of the ways. This is my favorite. So that's what we're teaching today. So, and again, tack stitch doesn't work as well with metal thread because of the tensile. There's just something that doesn't hold as well. And I came to learn by studying undersides, I see lots of knots of metal thread. So that's why we suggest starting with a big old knot. So we're going to make 5 points here. And normally we put numbers around, but here we have the guides of the petals, so it's already kind of inherent. So 1 to 2, and 3, and I get it quite on the edge. 3 to 4, then up at 5. How easy was that? I grabbed something. Wants to drag a piece of red there. Let me pick another hole. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, it's uneven. What you do is you come back this way. Okay. I'm going to pull this off to the side. And that creates your spiral. And I love kind of dragging it to the center here.
So you have 5 spokes now.
5 spokes, correct. And this is one of the most forgiving stitches I think you'll find. Between working with the metal thread, you can kind of move it around like this. And you can make sure all the petals are even, or all the spokes rather, not petals, spokes. Okay, so we're going to start winding clockwise. And you can see we have a natural over right here. So that's an over. And then the next one's going to go under. Okay. And every once in a while you maybe pull at the center so you know that you're getting it up. And this is just building. So over and under. And because it's an uneven amount, right, it'll just naturally change each time. So over, under. So that creates the weave. Under.
Over, under, over, under.
Mm-hmm. And again, you'll find that it shifts. You know, it might shift a direction. You just shove it over. Okay, over, under. Sorry, did I knock the camera?
That's
I'm getting
okay.
everybody seasick there.
It's almost like a vacation.
Over, under, under, over, under. Now I'm pushing it up from underneath a little bit with my finger to kind of give it some traction, to give it some lift from underneath. And because you're working with a tapestry needle, you should have an easier time of not catching other things. And it'll get more the more you build on the edges. And there's a point where you won't see it. You just have to let the needle guide you.
You're just building up enough so that it reaches the edge and covers the edge of the silk.
Correct. And it's one of those, you just decide what looks full and complete to you. You can keep going. and make it very, very buildable. Or you can leave it more sparse. There we go. And also decide how tight you want. You could leave these spokes looser than I did. I leave them flat but not tight, so you have some. But if you want it real high, you can build it really high. I tend to like mine a little lower and flatter, less dimensional. But if you want it very dimensional, then you would leave more. The looser the spokes are, then the more you can build it up. That sort of defines how much you can do. Also, you start kind of leaving them rounder or looser near the edges instead of continuing to pull them super tight. Okay, you can see it's really starting to take. Now I could just stop right there. I'm very happy with that. But I could do it a little more if you wanted a little more outside on the edges. But I kind of like where that is. And then you can just plunge at any point. But be careful not to pull it too hard or you'll misshape it. So I have, where's my other completed one? Here it is. Let me get that into camera so you could see that piece as well. So this is my original completed piece.
So you just pull it all the way to the back, flip your frame over and knot it
knot it.
off or weave it through. What else is there?
Correct. And because this is a very fine passing thread, and it fits through the eye, we don't have to do the lasso. I teach that sometimes where you use a sewing thread to anchor it and pull it down. That's not necessary with this one. So that's all there is to that.
Looks good.